Ho, ho, ho. Football Eve, week 5, Saturday night, question party. We are back. How you doing, Shane? You gonna look at the people and say hi?
Hi. I was trying to figure out how to share it on Facebook, but yeah, I'm good. Good Saturday with the fam, ready for football tomorrow. Jaguars are getting their left tackle back, so hopefully that will make their offense, I don't know, more efficient or something. I don't know.
Your little blue screen action's a little distracting there. Tyler, hopefully you're in here right now. You asked this a little bit before we got going, but the question was Stroud or Goff with Amon-Ra St. Brown out. Where are you going with this one, Shane?
Before you and I chatted a little pre-show, I was thinking Goff, but this is Stroud pretty easily for me. With Amon-Ra out likely and Josh Reynolds potentially out. And Carolina's defense is not very good, so I think Detroit's going to be able to run the ball very, very easily with probably Monty, because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is also questionable to play.
Yeah, they have a lot of question marks and
what they do,
a lot of Q's and D's on that Lions offense this week. I'm the same way. I had Goff at 10 before the Amon-Ra news came out, which was 2 spots ahead of Stroud. But now that we've got that news, we've got the Q next to Reynolds. Next up, Marvin Jones hasn't done a whole lot this year. Jamison Williams coming back. He hasn't done a whole lot in his entire career.
No.
So there's a lot of question marks there. You look at Houston, Atlanta. Houston is getting gashed on the ground. Bijan probably going to have a huge day. Tyler Algier might have a big day. But I figured they're going to do what they've been doing, right, and throw a ton. So I'll go with Stroud here on a volume play with a lot of question marks around the Detroit offense in a game that could slow down because both of those teams like to run the ball when they can. Albert says, hello, everyone. Hello, Albert.
Hello,
Thanks
Albert.
for stopping by. Just like always, we appreciate it. He wants to know, Achane or Swift in a half PPR?
Who do they play? Swift's got the Rams and who's Miami play?
Giants.
Oh, give me Achane.
I'm going to go with Swift. I trust in his usage now. That was a big question mark with Gainwell over the beginning of the year. Achane right now is just unbelievably efficient. And it cannot continue. There's no way that it can continue. And even if he gets more touches, it can't continue. So I ran some numbers the other day because I was wondering just how much more efficient he was. And I ran him against the top 15 running backs in yards per carry. He would lose like almost 6.5 yards per carry just to get to top 15 efficiency. And he's got like 16 touches on average over the past 2 games. So unless he's going to go, to 30 touches, just what he's doing right now can't continue. Because he's also scored a touchdown on 18% of his touches this year. That is 10% better than Christian McCaffrey, to put that into perspective.
God.
Yeah. So if CMC is the benchmark, or the guy that you would anticipate being the pinnacle of this whole thing, Achane is 10% better than CMC's 8% touchdown share. So, it's not that he won't be good. It's just that right now the efficiency is so crazy. It doesn't even make sense. Like, it's not even logical what he's done over the past 2 weeks. So just based on being logical, like, he is going to come crashing back down to earth. It doesn't mean he's going to be bad again, but he's been so freaking good over the last 2 weeks. Swift, on the other hand, I anticipate getting 20 plus carries, getting some targets in the pass game as well. I'll take the volume here. And just so people know, that was not a shit on Devon Achane. That's just a natural thing. He's averaging 11.7 yards per carry. Okay, average in the NFL is like 4.1, 4.2.
Yeah.
So he's almost three times better than league average in that category. And then 18% touchdown is just crazy. ASDAF GOP. Hey guys, can you help me pick 3 starters between the running backs in a full PPR league? Breece Hall, Kamara, Barkley, and JT. Which one of these guys are you going to sit, Shane?
Do we know about Barkley's health yet? Like, is he playing?
I anticipate that he is, but I don't know 100%. But he would be the one that I would sit here, just because of the concerns.
If Barkley plays, I'm actually sitting JT. Just because he's coming back. It's his first game back, and it's against Tennessee. And the one thing Tennessee's good at on defense is stopping the run.
Okay, that again, we talked about this earlier in the year, right? Because I told everybody sit Jerome Ford. Everybody wants to come clap at me because Jerome Ford got 2 touchdowns. He had 18 rushing yards. He had 18 rushing yards. If I told everybody that he was going to have 18 rushing yards before the game, they would have sat him, right?
That was against Tennessee, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But he's not JT. This is JT, and you finally have JT back. You don't sit him for the 5th week after you waited for him to get back. I don't care if it's against Tennessee. He's an elite running back. He's a running back. Like, are you going to sit CMC against Dallas this week because it's Dallas? No. JT is a must start. I would be sitting Kamara here if it was all 4 guys healthy. But with Barkley, the high ankle sprain, Giants offense in a complete freaking shitstorm. That to put it lightly, right? Like their offense is as bad as the Bears were before the past 2 weeks. Like that, the Giants have been worse. It's been bad, and maybe it's because they don't have Barkley, but I still don't expect him to be a full go in his first week back either. So I'll go with JT, Kamara, and Hall here, and then you're gonna have some big decisions coming up when all these guys are healthy and back, and everything there. Kyren or Waddle? Would you play Kyren versus the Eagles? My other question mark on running back is Mixon. I'm starting Mixon everywhere.
I'm going Waddle and Mixon out of the 3.
Kyren, again, it's so hard to sit Kyren. He is getting so many touches. I'm going Kyren and Mixon here.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, look at Waddle. What has Waddle really done for us this season? Obviously, he missed some time and he's had some injury, but Kyren is just getting all the work, and he gets pass catching work. So against a good defense, I don't mind having him in there. Same thing with JT that we just talked about before against Tennessee, right? Like they're going to throw the ball to JT. They were throwing it to Zach Moss. Don't tell me they're not going to throw it to JT. Yeah. So it helps insulate him a little bit, but the touches are going to be there. And right now, Waddle hasn't been getting the action in the Dolphins offense that we're used to seeing. And it is a little interesting that a team with Waddle and Hill and Chosen and Barrios and good wide receiver options would risk bringing in somebody like Chase Claypool. There may be more to Waddle than we know. With that decrease in production so far to start the season. So I think there's a lot of question marks around him right now. I think he's good. I think he's good for the long term, but for the immediate future, we got to see it happen on the field here, in my opinion. Kyron's just been doing it all year. I know it ain't sexy, but
look, I don't hate Kyron. That's just kind of a start your studs thing with me there, and Waddle is a stud to me.
That starts going out the window after 4 weeks of action for me. That's when I think we start seeing some trends. Yeah. And we got to see, same thing with Burrow. Last Saturday I sat here and there was a big debate between me and Sully in the chat about, starting who was it that I said to start over him? Purdy. But I would have started Josh Dobbs over him last week, right? Like, until Burrow shows us that he's good, there's just no reason to start him. That position's a lot closer, but Kyron's been really good too. So it's not like you're starting a scrub. Oh, shoot. I should probably answer this before I change off, right? Half PPR. Start one for the flex. Gabe Davis, Tyler Boyd, McLaughlin. So have we heard, is Javonte out?
I'm checking right now.
When you check that, I'm going to check T. Higgins.
T. Higgins is out.
T. Higgins is out for sure?
Yep.
Okay. So T. Higgins is ruled out.
Javonte was a full participant at practice on Friday.
Okay, so dang. I'm going excuse me. If Burrow was healthy, this would be easily Tyler Boyd for me, but because this just again, we haven't seen it out of the Bengals this year. I'm going to go Gabe Davis. Hopefully he catches that touchdown. The Bills offense is humming right now. So I'll go with him.
I'm going to agree. Yeah, I'm going to go Gabe Davis as well.
I really do hope we start getting old Burrow back here, though. I hope he gets healthy. And
I think my other thought was, like, if you need a floor play, it's Boyd. If you need a ceiling play, it's Gabe Davis. If you're just making me pick in a vacuum, I'm going Gabe Davis.
I mean, I would agree with that if Burrow was healthy and the offense was moving the way it is. What I do think is going to happen is we are going to see a lot of targets to Jamar Chase after the I'm open.
I'm always open.
I'm open. I'm always open.
I mean,
look at again. We saw AJ Brown right after he had a little discussion with Hurts. He has been lights out since. Ever since DJ Moore said, answered that question on the field with the Bucs that they're not using him right, and he said, "Yeah, tell me about it." That's all changed in Chicago. It's fun. Marco from the future says, "Good morning," and then he says, "JT a must start this week." For me, he is. I'll take JT. I'll take JT in that backfield. Look at come on, man. Zach Moss, what he's done in that backfield with Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson opens up this run game. That's what these running quarterbacks do, right? We see it in Baltimore with everybody. I mean, what isn't Gus Edwards like the most efficient running back yards per carry wise, and one of them in history with that many carries? It's not because he's better than a lot of those guys that are at the top of the list. It helps having Lamar Jackson in the backfield. So I'm starting him. You did not draft him. Wait 4 weeks while he's on the pup to then not play him when he comes back. That's my opinion. It's the same thing with Cooper Kupp. You ask me if you're starting Cooper Kupp this week, I'm going to tell you I'm throwing him in there. Every answer you give me, unless you can only start 2 wide receivers and you have Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and Cooper Kupp. I'll sit him then. Oh, I mean, you can elaborate on your not starting him more if you want.
I swear I saw somewhere that he was going to be on a pitch count, and like I mentioned earlier, the Titans defense is good against the run. Like, yes, I know we talked about Jerome Ford earlier, but the only reason Jerome Ford had the fantasy value that he did that day was because he fell into the end zone twice. Like, is JT
so are you telling me that JT can't fall into the end zone twice on a pitch count? Where do you think they're gonna use him if he's on a true pitch count? Plus, what does a pitch count mean for JT? Right? Is that 15 touches? Will you take 15 touches of JT?
The answer should be yes.
Should be.
I don't know.
So just make it yes. Don't fight yourself.
I'm skeptical this week.
Hey, it could backfire, but you didn't draft him not to play him. And pitch count for a running back is completely different, in my opinion, than for a wide receiver, right? Wide receivers are already volatile. Receivers are already volatile.
Yeah.
Right? When they're healthy and not on a pitch count. You give them a pitch count, it only adds to more volatility. Running backs are pretty stable. So if you're talking a guy that's going to get you a 1.1 fantasy points per touch and he's going to get 12 touches, and you're still looking at a 12, 13 point week, I can handle that. And JT's a guy that can do that. And the offensive line's playing better than it did last year. He's healthy, and they've got that threat in the backfield to help open up lanes for him. It's all working towards a very efficient rest of season for JT. I'll take him. Also, I'm not sitting him. Hey, remember what you said a little bit ago? Start your studs.
Touche.
Should I start Mike Wilson, Hollywood Brown, or Jerry Jeudy?
I'm going Jeudy here.
I'm going Hollywood. Hollywood has been the most stable out of the three of these guys. He's going to get his targets.
Actually, you know what? I'm going Hollywood too. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been pumping Hollywood up all season.
I want it to be Jeudy. That's what I want it to be. But we got to see some consistency out of him.
Did you see him clapping back at former Broncos players on Twitter?
Yeah, good. Philip Lindsay,
and
at least you get to watch from home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never good when your alumni are calling out the wide receiver group for how much they're getting paid and how little production they've got, right? That's always good.
Not good.
Aaron Jones, Rashee Rice, or McLaughlin. This is so easily Aaron Jones for me.
Same.
He was on a pitch count last week, plus that game didn't go very well in that game script. But, okay, I love Aaron Jones, and he is not Jonathan Taylor.
But he's pretty damn good still.
He's not Jonathan Taylor. Aaron Jones has lived off of receptions, right? I mean, he's a good rusher too.
Yeah.
But he's never been the guy that got 22 carries a game. It's Aaron Jones for me, though.
No, I agree.
Pretty easily. I'll still take it. Jacob, this was actually we already had this one. We both went Stroud. It was actually the first question asked tonight was Goff or Stroud. We're both on Stroud with Amon-Ra out, and the other question marks. Josh Reynolds questionable, Gibbs questionable. So it's an interesting day for Detroit. I'm guessing probably all the other guys will be healthy, and it'll just be Amon-Ra out, but. I'm trying to wait until Barkley breaks out to try to flip him for an elite wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, if you don't need running back, then there's...
Which he doesn't. I think he was the one with Kamara and JT and... who was the fourth one?
I mean, that was four. That's only four, though, man. I like to have four good running backs if I got them. Yeah. I like the depth at running back. You never know who's going to miss time at that position.
Especially this year.
Yeah. JT craps the bed 2 times a year against the Titans. I'm looking to package JT in a deal with Jeudy. Who should I aim for? I mean, if you're adding Jeudy, that's the problem, is you're adding a wide receiver that's probably not going to garner a ton of interest. That's not going to be like the thing. If you're looking to go to wide receiver, they're going to be downgrading big time, going from whoever you're getting for this package to Jeudy. So that's going to be the tough part, right?
Yeah.
Because you're looking, I mean, if you're trading JT and Jeudy, the worst wide receiver you're probably looking at is like a CD Lamb, right? You're probably looking for a CD Lamb, an AJ Brown. You're not going to get a Justin Jefferson. You might be able to get like Jamar Chase if they're down on that Bengals offense right now. So if you think the Bengals are going to bounce back, that's a type of deal you could do. But that's a big downgrade for them going from any of those names to Jeudy until Jeudy shows. So that might be the hiccup in that deal. Now, if they're super strong at wide receiver, then you might be able to get a deal like that done.
Yeah.
I do like that. Jamar Chase, if they're down on that Bengals offense, and if you like it to bounce back, but that calf injury is tough. And ASD says an Amon-Ra kind of player. Yeah, you might be able to do that with him missing this week. You might be able to do something like that. I would rather have JT rest of season than Amon-Ra, but that's just me. With JT being a must start, sit one, James Cook or Isaiah Pacheco.
Ooh.
Let me pull up my trusty little schedule here again. So,
yep. Shoot,
these are guys that I definitely. Okay, I'm starting
Pacheco, right?
Where we got? Why am I
Cook's
not seeing?
playing Jacksonville, in London.
I mean, Cook has been more stable throughout the year, but I'm guessing Chiefs are going to be running the ball a lot, and I'll take that versus the Vikings.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it's Pacheco against the Vikings for me that I'm starting. So sit Cook.
Pittman or Waddle?
Pittman, right? That's
right now. It's got to be Pittman, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of balling out, and JT back there cannot hurt Pittman.
No.
I mean, the no offense, no matter how good Zach Moss played over the past few weeks, no defense was looking at the Colts and saying, "Holy
shaking
shit,
in their boots for Zach
Holy
Moss.
shit, guys, we got to stop Zach Moss. If we do not stop Zach Moss, we are in trouble." Teams now are going, "Oh shit, we have to try to find a way to stop Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Pittman." This is good for all three of those guys. It's I love it. What?
I was whispering, and Josh Downs. He's been quietly productive as their wide receiver.
We ain't there yet. No defense is going, "Oh my God, Josh Downs."
Not yet.
They are going, "Oh my God, Kylan Granson." We do not want to invoke another photo shoot. Do we drop Aguilar for Kyle Phillips in Dynasty?
I do.
I don't, because Aguilar is getting action with a wide receiver group that can't stay healthy. You give me Aguilar right now. I think Kyle Phillips is better in the future, but if OBJ is going to be missing time more, Rashad Bateman can't stay on the field. And you've got Zay Flowers, the rookie, as the only other really wide receiver that you want to throw to. Aguilar is a good, second tier option in that Baltimore offense that is probably going to get a ton of targets over the rest of the season. So I'll take Aguilar right now, but Kyle Phillips, we've wanted to be a thing since, the beginning of last year, right? And it just hasn't really
been on the field. I feel like he's been hurt a lot, unfortunately.
Oh, what you said? Yeah. Do you have any other points to that?
Oh, I was going Kyle Phillips, just from a long-term perspective. He's younger. I think he will have a specific role coming out of the slot for the Titans, but you may have to be patient, just because it's Dynasty, and hopefully they upgrade at quarterback next year, because I don't think Tannehill's it, and I definitely don't think Levis is it.
So you don't think Malik Willis is, because he's the number 2? Because
is he?
Dude, yeah. Levis couldn't even beat him out in camp. It's been the whole thing. There was a whole story in camp. Where you been?
Holy crap!
This dude, Will Levis, was the biggest fool's gold in the last few drafts that I can remember. He wasn't even taking the snap right in the preseason. The news on him in the preseason was so bad that Malik Willis, the guy that at one point they were going to be releasing, beat him out. That's bad. Yeah. They're not drafting QB very well right now. Do I play Aaron Jones this week? The limited tag still worries me. If that's a no-go, who would you flex between Dell, Watson, and Romeo Dobbs half PPR? I'm going with Aaron Jones.
I am too.
The fact that you have those 3 receivers on your bench, I'm definitely willing to take the risk on Aaron Jones, because your starting lineup should be pretty damn good if you're sitting those guys if you play Aaron Jones. So
I agree with that.
I think you're in a good spot with that roster there. Rob Kane says, "What's up, guys? What's up? Javonte is questionable, according to Tyler. If he practiced in full, he's probably going." Rob says, "So would you trade Gus and Mostert for Kenneth Walker in a PPR league?"
Yeah, I think I would.
If it doesn't eliminate all my depth, at running back. Because here's the thing. Whether you're paying attention or not, the big thing was Kenneth Walker had 24 touches through his first 4 weeks in his career, right? I think that's right around where Zach Charbonnet is, and we all know what happened down the stretch last year with Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet is not going away. He's averaged 5 yards per carry. I think he was like 6th in the NFL or something on yards per carry. It's not going to be just Kenneth Walker's backfield for the whole season. It's just not going to be. Charbonnet is going to get more and more action as we go. Doesn't mean Walker can't still be good, but I don't want to lose all my depth here. Mostert's going to be fine as long as he stays healthy as well. But none of these guys are a picture of, none of these guys are immune from the injury bug either. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would. I agree with that. I would do this for Walker, but I did go and look it up real quick because Charbonnet does have exactly 24 touches in his first 4 weeks. So coming off the bye, I don't know. We could see more Charbonnet, so that hurts Walker long term. But
did you think I didn't know my numbers, buddy?
No, I was just shocked that it was exactly the same.
Hey man, I'm always looking at my numbers. I want to know what's going on. I want to get ahead of stuff. And I think if you are somebody that has liked Charbonnet, and haven't been able to acquire him, and the other, manager, whoever's got him is frustrated, he is a great trade target right now.
So do you care about snap share at all?
It depends on the context, right? There's no, if somebody, okay, let's just say somebody could get 40 snaps and only get a 10%, opportunity share on those 40 snaps for 4 touches. Somebody else could be getting 35% on their, 30 touches, and it work out to be, way better, way more opportunity. So I don't think you can just blanket opportunity share, or snap share. It's how many opportunities you get on those snaps that really matters. That's why a lot of the times I don't care about certain guys when they are on a, quote unquote pitch count, because they're going to use, they're not going to use Jonathan Taylor as a decoy, right? Yeah. They're probably, if they're going to run them on, 25 snaps, 30 snaps, they're probably going to give them a touch on 65, 70% of those. Yeah. And make sure he's utilized correctly. Pittman or Ridley?
Pittman.
This one's really tough for me.
Is it really?
Yeah, both of these guys are good.
I love Ridley, but we haven't seen it from him since week 1 for me to trust him yet.
And he got in the end zone last week, right?
Yeah, he did.
So I have Ridley at 17. We're gonna figure this out. So, well, actually, this is me and Sully combined. We have Ridley at 17, and we have Pittman at 11. So it would be Pittman, according to the RotoHeat rankings combination between me and
Sully.
See, these guys, when you're friends, and I hope Big Matt Clayton sees this. They know you're live, so then they start messaging you for trades, and you're like, dude, what kind of friend are you? You don't support me. You're a douchebag. You're not on the live stream. So I just text them back, trade talks. I'm live, douche. Not watching. You're a terrible friend. Colin says, I appreciate it. No problemo.
We appreciate
Roman, what's going on? What's up, fellas? In a full PPR, play 2. JT, James Cook, Najee, or Akers. JT, check the box against these 3 running backs.
Yeah.
And then
I'm going Cook.
So the question is, do we buy into Mike Tomlin saying things are going to change this week?
Oh, because I think he said that going from week 3 to week 4.
No, not like this. He had Canada's back going into week 4, and then shit was bad again. And then this week he
Shocker.
said, do you know Canada has not had a 400-yard game as a OC?
For like total, like rushing and passing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
In his career, or with the Steelers, since he started, they have not had a 400-yard offensive game. Wow. That is horrendous. But last week, Najee got the 22 carries that we, expected him to get. But still, only 1 reception. Why is he no longer a part of the passing game when your young quarterback is having trouble? It makes no sense to me how they have not utilized him in there. So let me look here. We got running backs. This one's tough for me. I think they're close. I think if Najee was getting used in the passing game, my cord's in my way. Harris. So we have Harris at 29, and we have Cook at 13. It's a big difference. I didn't expect. Wow. Maybe Sully's way lower on Najee than me. Maybe I'm way lower on Najee than I remember being when I ranked. But yeah, James Cook would be the answer here for both of us. Any Lions wide receiver to be on the lookout for with St. Brown injury? For me, it's a stay away situation because we got Josh Reynolds with the Q tag. We haven't seen a lot out of Marvin Jones. I mean, he's capable of doing damage for a game. Khalif, there's nobody I want to hang my hat on, right? Khalif Raymond, Jamison Williams coming back after the suspension. The guy's only got 1 catch in his career.
That's who I would keep a lookout on.
Jamison, if you're talking about long term, then yeah, but St. Brown's probably going to be back, next game.
Rob, I'm going to give you a cop-out answer and go with Sam Laporta.
That's not a wide receiver. That's a tight end.
That's why it's a cop-out answer.
I don't think it works like that because I think he's asking because the other options here could probably be had on the waiver wire. And if you're getting Laporta off your waiver wire, you're in the wrong league.
Yeah, probably.
At this point, not probably. At this point, Laporta is what? The number is he the number 1 tight end so far? Number 2? Something like that?
3.
Number 3? I know he's up there.
He's 3.
JT is on a pitch count, and he doesn't play well against the Titans. Check his 2022 stats, clown. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to watch this stream if you don't like it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sitting studs against anybody. And last year isn't the same as this year. I mean, hell, did you not see what Justin Fields has done? The first 3 weeks aren't the next 2 weeks. Like, the NFL is different week to week, and I'm not sitting JT if I, spent a decent pick on him because it was before he went on the pup, most likely, right? So you probably got him in the top 3 rounds. And you've already missed 4 weeks, so I'm not going to miss another week of him. Aaron Jones, James Cook, Nico Collins this week. Which one? I'm going Aaron Jones here.
Yeah, give me Jones. Yeah, give me Jones.
Rob says, who is the booty juice pick of the week at each position? You know what? If we catch up on these questions, Rob, I'll put a booty juice list together. I'll start thinking about it, and we'll get to that later in this stream for sure. Marco says, got a sleeper notification that he'll be on a pitch count, but Ricky is right. 15 touches or 15 possible TDs, and if not, Packers jersey next stream. I didn't say 15 touches or 15 possible TDs, but they're going to use him in the passing game, and he's going to get, even on a pitch count, 12 to 15 rushing attempts. I'd put money on it, and if Jerome Ford can fall into the end zone twice against the Titans, so can one Mr. Jonathan Taylor. I don't care the past, and 3 touches a quarter. So 12 opportunities for JT I'll take every day, over 90% of the running backs in the NFL. And Zach Moss still being there is literally a moot point to me because Jonathan Taylor's just way better. Way better. Javonte going to end up being out. He has a hip flexor and something else going on. Plus, they want to use McLaughlin. If Javonte was a full participant in practice, then I'm guessing they're planning on playing him. Why would you have him practice in full if he's not good to go?
Yeah.
Like, unless something happened in that practice, right? Unless he re-injured it or whatever, but. Ooh. We're getting those spicy tight end questions that I love.
Fun.
Full PPR. Kincaid over Pitts and Musgrave? Question mark.
I think I'm going Musgrave here, actually. Is that nuts?
Musgrave's coming off of a concussion. So as long as he's cleared, I like him. He's getting targets, but I'm going to go with Kincaid here. Pitts is a breakout candidate. He's right there in line with Jonnu Smith in targets. I think they're separated by like 2 targets or something. Same thing with both of them in London. They're all 3 of them are like 20, 21, and 20 and 22 targets or something. So they're all pretty equal when it comes to opportunity share there for Atlanta, but for some reason it's just not connecting with Pitts. So if that connection happens, then Pitts can break out. But right now I'm going with Kincaid, just the best offense, the best quarterback out of the group. I'll tie my tight end to that with touchdown upside because of that any day. Diego Masella, should I trade Anthony Richardson and Christian Watson for Olave in a full PPR? I already have Hurts at QB. Yes.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Yes, in a heartbeat. I like it. Craig Wayne, is Devontae Adams going to play is the question.
That is the question.
Craig, that is the question, and it's a question that I cannot answer for you. Listen, Craig Kraft may be on the IR, but they still have options at wide receiver. It's still you're bringing a cancer into the locker room. So if Mike McDaniel can untap this talent that Claypool has, there's a funny meme that I seen where it was talking about Mike McDaniel's drawing up the perfect route for Chase Claypool, and then Claypool being like, "Sorry, bro, I don't want to run." Mike McDaniel, like, what? Like, yeah, I've always been a big proponent. I had bets preseason that he was going to be the Bears wide receiver 2 over Darnell Mooney. Through 5 games now, Darnell Mooney has 16 targets and Chase Claypool had 14. Like, the talent's there. That's not the question. But I've seen people saying, oh, they brought him in to block because Craycraft is on. The kid don't block. Nobody's asking him to go to block. No. That's one of the whole reasons why he's not in Chicago anymore. Gentlemen, flex spot, Rashee Rice or Jaylen Warren? It's Rice.
Yeah, Rice.
We got Rice in a smash spot against the Vikings. It'd be real nice if we knew who Patrick Mahomes was going to throw the ball to. But if we're talking about these 2 guys that we don't know how much action they're going to get, I'm going to go with the guy in the Chiefs offense against the Minnesota Vikings defense that hasn't been able to stop anything this season. And Detroit defense or Houston defense? Ooh, let me pull up the defenses.
They're playing, it should be Carolina offense for Detroit.
No, I'm pulling up my defense rankings.
Oh, rankings. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go Houston here because I think Ritter is probably more likely to turn the ball over. And that's what I'm going with.
I have Detroit Lions at 6, and I have Houston at 16. So I'm going to be firmly on the Detroit Lions side here.
I can't fight that.
JT is not a must start this week. I mean, hey, you guys asked me my opinion. You don't have to go with it. It's just my opinion. I think he is. Lamar or Tua?
This is first world problems here.
Yeah, no doubt. If this is a 1 QB, I recommend trading one of these guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
Lamar has Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, I don't matchups.
I know you don't look at matchups.
I have Tua at 4 and Lamar at 5, so it's literally like we're splitting hairs here, right? But I mean, yeah. I have Tua over him, so that's who I would start.
I'll go Tua as well.
It's literally back to back. You apparently.
Ouch, Craig.
I'm just loud. And I make good points.
You do make good points.
Full PPR can only keep 3 running backs. I need to drop one now that Taylor is back. Who do I drop? James Cook, Montgomery, Swift, or Can only keep 3.
That sucks.
I mean, I'm dropping Swift out of these guys.
Really?
I mean, him and Cook, it sucks that you can only keep 3 running backs here. I'm definitely not dropping Taylor. Taylor's the first one I'm keeping.
No, Taylor's a keep for me. Swift is a keep for me.
Montgomery's the second one for me because he's going to get the touchdown upside with Detroit and that offense.
I think James Cook's the odd man out.
Yeah, might be Cook. This is tough. Can you trade one of them instead of dropping them?
That was my initial thought: is trade one, don't drop one.
Can you get a better receiver for whoever it is you're going? Then any of the 4 I could consider trading for a wide receiver of the same tier. You know what I mean? That's what I would try to do instead of just giving one of these guys to another team. I don't know. I could get on board with dropping Montgomery too.
I'm going Cook. Monty's getting too much of the volume and the touchdown upside to drop right now.
Okay, that was already asked. Just so everybody knows, you do only have to ask once. We will get to it. We go in order. Unless you super chat, you jump to the top. Boom, boom, boom. Dell, Addison, Reed, Jamison Sky, or Brandon Cooks. We need to start 2, and it's the first 2 for me.
Dell and Addison.
Dell and Addison.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't trust the other 4 enough yet.
Jacob needs to know Ayuk or Collins this week.
Ayuk.
It's Ayuk pretty easily for me. That dude he's been good for quite some time now.
Single catch that he has this season has gone for a first down or a touchdown.
Now that's Devontae Achane efficiency that will not continue.
It won't. But right now, every single one has.
We already did this one. Pittman is who we both went with here over Ridley. Marco from the future says drop McKenzie, Justin Watson, or Ronnie Rivers for Phillips. Ronnie Rivers, that name sounds like an actor in adult entertainment. I'm dropping McKenzie here. Just to make it pretty easy.
I don't even know what team McKenzie's on.
He's on the Colts. He's on the Colts, but I'll take the shot. Watson with Mahomes, Rivers, with a little more opportunity at running back may come his way. So I would keep those 2, and McKenzie is just he hasn't been it, right? He hasn't been it. Half PPR, Musgrave, Hurst, Darnell Washington. Which one? Also, would you trade Hopkins for Godwin Hopkins or Godwin for Ertz. My other tight end is Freiermuth. My wide receivers, Kupp, Watson, Flowers, Godwin, Hopkins. To start off, I'm going – it's in between Musgrave and Hurst for me. And I'm probably going Musgrave on the 0.5 PPR. More touchdown upside. Carolina's offense, not very good right now. Bryce Young not playing great. So I'll go Musgrave.
Yeah. I'm going to go Musgrave as well. Hurst hasn't really been involved in the offense since week 1. And I'm not trading Hopkins or Godwin for Hurst.
Think he had a touchdown. Hurst had a touchdown last week, I believe. But yeah, I'm not going to trade either of those receivers for Ertz. Yeah, I think you can. I would look at waivers, look at guys. I mean, Logan Thomas was a guy that I've been pumping up big time. He's a big part of that offense. Oh, Andy's got Amari Cooper. Still not trading any of those guys for Ertz. But you can figure out something there. You've got plenty of ammo to get a higher tiered tight end.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ayuk or Puka, PPR every 5 catches, if that makes sense. So you get 1 point for every 5 catches. So it's basically a 0.2
per catch.
Point per catch, except for you have to get to 5. We have a super chat after this one too, as well.
Lit. Because of the PPR every 5 catches, it makes me lean Puka.
Let me see where I have. Let's see. Ayuk. I have his wide receiver 13. And Puka, wide receiver 9. I have to guess that this is. I have to guess that I'm way lower than on Puka than Sully is, though. Puka. Yeah, Sully has him at 11. I have him at 32.
Wow.
And that's 32 overall, not 32 wide receiver, by the way. And then Ayuk, brain freeze. Wait, what else? I have him even lower. I have him back to back, but that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what I did. I'm going Ayuk with Kupp. Oh, that's probably why, because I haven't changed him since Kupp actually got activated. I'm going Ayuk with Kupp back. I think Puka is still going to be good, but he's already come down to earth the past couple weeks, and now you get Cooper Kupp in there. I don't think Tutu is going to go to 0 either. I think he's been admirable. His performance has been admirable to start this season. After everybody pretty much writing him off. So I'm going Ayuk.
I'm sticking with Puka.
Drew says, need to start 2 running backs in a 4-man. Kamara, Kyron, or Saquon. 2 of these.
I'm going Kamara and Kyron.
I'm going. I want to know more about Saquon. That's what I want.
I do too.
I want to know more about Saquon. Yeah, because I have him down my rankings, not knowing what's going to happen. I think the safe play is just go with Kyron. He's a top 12 running back ranked, this week. So Kyron and Kamara for me as well. So here's where the questions really get juicy. If both of these guys are healthy, I'm taking Zay Jones pretty easily.
Always Marco. Yeah, I'm going Zay Jones here.
Trey says, pick 2, please. Jalen Waddle, Alvin Kamara, Kyron Williams, and Barkley. So is this?
It's a different guy.
No, it's a different person. A lot of people have the same teams. They came to this stuff. Oh shoot, I never did the super chat. Remember, we're on Trey Lachlan. We got to get Rob in here because he jumped a line. No question, just showing support. Drop a like. Hashtag booty juice. Dude, this could be something, right? I mean, my last name is Butts, for those that don't know. So this whole booty juice thing, and I'm thinking about it, Rob. I ain't done with the booty juice for each position, but we're going to get some of these questions answered. We really appreciate the support, man. You've been awesome this season, so thank you very much. Pick 2, please. Waddle, Kamara. I'm going with Kamara and Williams here as well. 2 top 10 running backs. I mean, we have Kamara at 6, Kyron at 10 in our weekly rankings. Waddle, we just haven't seen it yet. Barkley, ankle sprain. But man, when this stuff breaks though, you're gonna have a pretty good roster here.
I'm gonna go Waddle and Kamara.
I'm not really gonna argue against it, but you're wrong.
The Giant.
I'm just trying to get you to change your mind.
No, I'm going Waddle and Kamara here. The Giants secondary is garbage, and I don't know if they're healthy from last week. So even if they are, I don't care. Waddle's my answer.
Tyler says thanks, no problem. Marco says blame Canada. It's funny. We've had a bunch of chats in the Discord about blaming Canada here over the past few days with some of the.
Are we talking about the
Canadians saying it
or Matt?
Well, it's both, right? Because one of our Canadian buddies, Ray, came into the chat and said them damn Canadians in regards to Chase Claypool and that whole mess because Chase Claypool's Canadian.
Freaking Mapletron.
And then it just turned into this whole thing. And then there's been the talk with Canada and how bad that offense has been. So there's been a bunch of blame Canada stuff there as well. It's just blame Canada. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. Get rid of one in PPR. Achane, Kamara, Ayuk, and James Cook.
I hope this just means you're benching them. And if that's the case, I am benching Cook here.
Oh, man. Ricky. Let's see what you've got for running back rankings here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have James Cook ahead of Achane, though. Let's see. Cook. I have Cook at 24th overall.
Okay.
Achane, 22. They're so close. So I was wrong. So yeah, it's James Cook. Everybody else I'm going to have I'd rather have there.
Thank you, Rob.
It was just sit one, right? Yeah, sit one.
Yeah.
Rob says, drop a like on the stream. We appreciate it when you do that. It helps us a ton. Stafford or T-Law? Ooh-wee. I'm guessing. It'd be great. I'd be really talented if I could remember all these where I've got them, right? I have Stafford at QB 14, and I have T-Law at QB 9, so I'm going Trevor Lawrence here.
All right, why do you have Lawrence that high? Because Buffalo's been a buzzsaw on defense.
Well, I mean, when we look at the other options in the NFL, that's part of it, right? Like,
yeah,
a lot of the guys that would be ahead haven't performed very well. Jared Goff, the injuries for Detroit. I guess you could have argued CJ Stroud and Sam Howell over him, but those still aren't guys that I'm like super confident in either.
I started Howell over T-Law at least.
I wouldn't argue against it.
Yeah.
I had him at 11, so he's only 2 spots away, and quarterback's already truncated and close, right? That's why I don't overvalue quarterbacks in any format because they're all so close anyway. But I mean, below him, it's Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, Brock Purdy, I guess, should be up there. I have him at 13. Sully has him at 18. So our rankings are, he's at 16. I would have him higher. But it is Dallas that he's facing. So that's a tough matchup. So
where'd you have Stafford again?
Sorry. I have him at 14, right behind Brock Purdy. So it's that gap right there from 9 to
14.
To right there. Even Josh Dobbs, if you go down, I had him at 16. and Dak Prescott at 17. Like all that whole grouping there is really close for me.
No, I completely agree with you. And that's kind of why I asked, because this is really tough for me. You're going to make fun of me, but I'm a Jags fan, and I don't know. I've considered sitting T-Law just because of how good Buffalo is. Yeah, I'm going to go Stafford here, actually.
Here's another thing.
Playing. Yeah.
Did you see my tweet the other day comparing Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Is it not crazy that the narrative around the two are so different?
Yeah.
Just for everybody out there, this was before the Commanders game, but in their starts, where's my freaking profile at here? So I say this right. So in their starts, Justin Fields has been more likely to score 20 or more points than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has scored under 20 points 52% of his starts. Justin Fields, 48% of his starts. Not good for either of them.
No.
But it's really close. Justin Fields is also more likely to score 28 or more points. They've both done it 6 times, but, well, Fields has done it 7 now.
Yeah.
And 30 starts, with 6 for Lawrence and 38 starts. So Lawrence, 16%. Before the Commanders game, Justin Fields, 21%. Justin Fields is now he's 2-5 in those games where he scores 28 plus. Trevor Lawrence was 6-0. So when you're talking about the team and how much that matters, it just shows a little bit. But I thought it was interesting when I was looking at that.
The funny thing to me is, like, I saw your tweet and I was like, I really want to counter with coaching because Trevor Lawrence had Urban Meyer, the NFL's best kicking coach in the league. And then I was like, well, Fields hadn't had much better either.
Right. So the point is, Trevor Lawrence has not played great football consistently in his young career either. Yeah. That whole draft class has been very underwhelming to this point. Marco, best defense to stream this week besides the Cowboys. For streaming defenses, baby. I love it. Not really. I haven't played with a DSD in 7 years probably, but I mean, I don't know what the options are, like, streaming wise.
Here, I can maybe help with that.
I mean, can you stream the Dolphins?
No. I mean, they're in the... Let me check my other league real fast.
Colts, maybe. I like the Colts as a streamer. And then I just like any defense against a rookie quarterback if you can get them.
Yeah. Texans is one that's standing out to me. Texans, Titans. Would it be nuts to go with the Cardinals with how bad the Bengals have been?
No, I actually, in I think one of my DFS lineups, I used the Cardinals. Okay, Burns, Bosa, or Sweat sit 1.
I'm sitting Sweat. Burns and Bosa are probably...
Sweat already played, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sit Sweat if it's between these 3. But he did. I know he did have a sack though. Best passing offense this week. I'm going to go with Washington with the 388 yards that they put up against the Bears. Yeah. The empty yards that happened there. If I'm guessing, I mean, it might be Minnesota against the Chiefs playing catch up like they have been all year, putting up crazy yards. So I'll go with Minnesota as my guess.
I'll go the Chiefs because they're playing Minnesota.
That could be true too. But I just figure they'll be able to turn to the run when Minnesota won't be able to.
Yeah.
Joe says non-PPR, pick 1 flex wide receiver and 1 wide receiver. So we've got Ayuk, Collins, Rice, Connor. Rice doesn't belong in the grouping here with these guys. I'm going Ayuk and Connor.
Easily for me. Those 2.
Uncle Ted says James Cook all day. Why do you have to drop any of them? Drop someone else on your bench and try to trade with them. They could only keep 3. That's league rules. They could only hold 3 running backs there. Try and get tight end like Hockenson. I will agree to Hockenson on that one deal instead of Ertz. Watson plus Love is a league-winning stack. I will not agree with that, but
no, I'm not there.
Trade for Dameon Pierce now while he is cheap. He is a clear bell cow. Hasn't got going yet. I don't disagree. I think he had the 10 most opportunities at running back and was also top 3 in red zone opportunities that haven't come to fruition. So I get on board with that. Hopkins goes off week 5. Okay, so thanks, Uncle Ted, for teaching us all a bunch of stuff. Oxide says roll with Niners or Saints Steed. I'll just stick with the Niners. They're my number 3 on the week. I'll stick with the Niners.
Oh,
I do have Saints 4 though, so it's close. I won't argue against it.
I'll go Saints because it's either Mac Jones or maybe Bailey Zappi, and I think either one is worse than Dak Prescott. So. Reed B. Cooks, James Cook, Pitts, Sky, or Jameson. Did we answer that?
Reed. No, James Cook. Or is it?
Yeah,
he's
James
lost
Cook.
In there. James Cook. 49ers defense all day. Yep. Full PPR. Need 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. So 2 running backs. I'm going Hall and Kyron Williams.
I'm going Hall and Achane.
Achane's going to be my flex here. I'm going to go Lamb and Pittman, and then I'm going Kyron, Achane, Hall.
Give me Hall and Achane and then the wide receivers. All 3 of them.
Akers or McLaughlin?
Ew.
I'm going to go McLaughlin with Javonte banged up.
I am too.
Joe says pick 1 non-PPR, Ertz, Higbee, Goddard. I'm sticking with Goddard here. He's getting the action. That's another guy that just hasn't really got going.
He's not got going. It's hurting me in a couple leagues.
After that, it would be Higbee. If you're not feeling good with Goddard, Higbee would be my number 2. Ertz is getting a bunch of targets, but also not getting any touchdowns. So it's a lot of empty stats with him. Higbee's getting targeted, has opportunity. Goddard has touchdown opportunity every week.
Yeah, I agree. It's Goddard, Higbee, Ertz. Ertz has barely cracked 50 yards twice. The other 2 times it's been sub 25 yards. So give me Goddard here.
Rob says Stroud or T-Law. We both went. We didn't.
We haven't gotten this one, but this is Stroud for me pretty easily.
I mean, I can get on board with that. I do have T-Law ahead in my rankings, but again, that whole grouping is really, really close. I wouldn't really argue hard for any of those guys over another one when looking at my rankings. So I do have T-Law ahead, but I'm not like super convicted on any of these guys in that mid tier.
I'm just with the way that the Jaguars offense has looked so far this season and the way that Buffalo's defense is playing, I'm just being a big old baby and scared of the Buffalo defense. So I'm going Stroud here.
Stroud's just a volume play, right? The efficiency and everything. I mean, he hasn't thrown any picks, so that's good. But he's actually, been one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the league with 22% of his throws being off target. But
I did not realize that.
Yeah, when you're throwing that many times, it hides loss. So it's very reminiscent of Joe Burrow's rookie season, right? He wasn't the most efficient quarterback, but he was dropping back 60 times a game, throwing the ball 45 to 50 times a game, and it's a volume play. It's not bad, but if he ever drops to 30 throws in a game, then the fantasy production is going to be much lower because the touchdowns are at a lower rate. Everything's at a lower rate. And there'll be a lot less yards, but he's been good. That's not to knock him. He's a rookie. He's been outstanding, but it's volume for sure. Start 3, sit 1. So I am sitting Adam Thielen out of this group.
100% agree with that.
CXK, what's going on, man? Again, one of the first guys to ever jump into a RotoHeat stream. Very appreciative that he stuck with us since the beginning. The thing is, Kyron playing a really, really good D-line. So one of the rules I have for running backs is if they catch the ball, I don't care the opponent, right? Because maybe they only run the ball 11 times and maybe they only get 31 yards, but if they can catch the ball out of the backfield, they may get 8 targets in that game because of that D-line. And that's what I see McVay is going to put all of his players in the best situation, and he's going to have stuff to beat that defensive line. I think Kyron gets a bunch of targets this week, and I'll go with it. We know he's getting the touches at running back. That's what matters to me. And this week it may shift from more rushing attempts as previous to having way more in the pass game because of that pass rush. So I'm still fine playing him. And it doesn't always work, but hell, it doesn't always work playing anybody against anyone. So I need to fill 2 wide receiver spots and need help deciding. Oh, yeah.
We have done this one.
2 wide receiver spots need help deciding who to play. Choices are Ridley, Romeo Doubs, Tank Dell, Michael Gallup, Mike Williams, Justin Jefferson, my number 1. Ridley's the number 2 here. Mm-hmm. And then I'm probably going Tank Dell or Romeo Doubs.
I'm going Doubs. Him and Love have a connection. And I know Stroud and Dell do as well. But Dell and Collins have kind of been alternating the last couple of weeks on who's getting, I guess, more of the volume. So I'm going Ridley and Doubs.
If you think that Houston's going to throw the ball 40 times, then it's easily Tank Dell. If you think that it's going to drop down to around 30, then I could see going Doubs over him. Doubs does have touchdown upside in that Green Bay Packers offense, but I will go with Tank Dell. But I wouldn't argue against Romeo Doubs. Ridley's easy, though.
Yeah.
What has been your best pickup and worst drop of the year so far? Mine was I picked up DJ Moore and I dropped DJ Swift. Don't judge me. I was drinking. Listen, there was a point where Swift was like, you weren't necessarily wrong. Obviously it didn't work out that way, but I mean, whoever dropped DJ Moore, crazy. I don't know why he was ever on the waivers. I don't play a lot of redraft, so this one's tough for me. All my redraft are industry redraft leagues, right? The Polly's playoffs that Shane runs, SFB, and then a Guillotine league, which is entirely different. So I don't have a lot of like good pickups. I mean, I told everybody, but after week 1, when Zach Moss was, sidelined, injured, to pick up Zach Moss. So, I mean, that would probably be the one that paid off the most so far. But who do you got here, Shane? Because you play more redraft than me.
I think mine might be Goddard. Someone dropped Goddard and I picked him up. Because my tight ends were at that time Pat Freiermuth, and I think I might have had Michael Mayer, and that was a mistake. So it's either Dallas Goedert or I actually picked up Cole Kmet in the same league.
That's better than Goddard pickup.
Yeah. And then I didn't start him this week.
So I need to fill 2. Okay, we already did this one.
Yep.
Please remember, only ask once. Keeps the questions clean, and we go in order. So it won't be any faster if you ask twice, I promise. Madison Edwards, Jay Taylor, or Addison need 2. I'm going with Jonathan Taylor and Addison.
Bingo.
Are we playing Love over Richardson? No.
I know. I'm not.
No. We're going Richardson. Love is another one that if you dig in a little bit, it hasn't been as good as it looked fantasy-wise. So,
or like his completion percentage is like in the 50s, I think. Now, his depth of target, or whatever you want to call it, is partially the reason for that, but from an efficiency standpoint, he's not as good as the
I believe
universe.
He was also over 20% off target on his throws. So he's another guy that just the touchdown efficiency the first few weeks kind of oversell his production, if that makes sense. It feels good to be on cruise control this week. I had the Fields Moore stack in my work league. But Nico or Ridley? I'm going Ridley. Nico is doing really well, but I'm not off the Ridley train yet.
I'll go Ridley here.
49ers or Dolphins, D?
Dolphins.
I have, again, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have 49ers as my defense, my number 3 defense. Dolphins are 7, but I'm going 49ers here. Drew, thank you for the question. 0.5 PPR, start 1 flex, Downs, JMO, Gus, Algier, Tony. It's Gus for me.
I am between Downs or JMO, actually.
What?
I know. I love Josh Downs.
Loving Josh Downs and Josh Downs being productive are 2 different things.
Agreed. That's why I'm trying to pull that out and not make that decision based off of that. And then I'm considering JMO because who the hell else are they going to throw to? That's a wide receiver. So that's going to be my choice. I'm going to go JMO here.
Yeah. I think it's so easily Gus Edwards here. Running back in the Ravens offense, multi-touchdown upside. Hard to get on board with anybody else there for me. Pick up Doolin, Ford Wheaton, Josh Alley, or Justin Short. Marco, you know, well, maybe Shane can help you. I don't know.
Justin Shorter. I don't even know Josh Alley.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to ask those crazy ones. I don't know. I really don't know. It's all dart throws for me. Ertz, Ferguson, and Boyd or Michael Thomas full PPR. So are we talking trade here, Kyle?
Ertz or Ferguson and Boyd or
oh wait. Okay, I read it wrong. So we're Ertz or Ferguson. I'm going Ferguson.
Boyd or MT?
I'm going Ferguson, and then I'm going MT.
I'm going to go Ertz and MT. No, I'm not. I just said Ertz has only cracked 50 yards twice, and it's been barely. I'm going to go Ferguson and MT.
Patrick says, hey, folks. Goddard or Ferguson standard. I have Hurts, but Ferguson on Sunday night. I'm going with Goddard over Ferguson still.
Same.
I will admit that after this week, if Goddard still isn't bringing it home, that I might be changing my tune on Goddard, but he's been productive in that offense with Jalen Hurts far too long for him to just disappear, I think. Yeah. Wilson, Reynolds, Addison, or Boyd, pick 2. Allen on bye.
Which Wilson? Garrett Wilson.
Oh, yeah. Then he's talking about Keenan Allen on bye. Okay. So it's Wilson and Addison for me.
Same.
And maybe Zach Wilson has figured a little bit out, right? Maybe
he smoked some ayahuasca.
Maybe, yeah, he did a little darkness retreat in between weeks. Should I trade Aaron Jones for Connor and Palmer or Godwin? If you can trade Aaron Jones and get James Conner and Chris Godwin, Palmer, throw that out. I'll take Connor and Godwin and a half PPR for Aaron Jones. I would do that.
Agreed.
Luca, good luck on that trade. Jordan, how you doing? Olave or Ridley? This is Olave.
Olave. Yeah.
Kyle says, I have Gabe Davis and Devonta Smith, also Madison and Breida if Barkley doesn't play. If he does, forced to go with Ty Spears. If he doesn't play. I mean, what have they said? Like,
not jack that's worth anything.
Kyle, this is a question for tomorrow morning. Once we know more about Barkley.
The combination of a questionable tag and 3 straight limited practices give Barkley a real chance to play, whereas last week he was a long shot heading into Monday night. That's what the report on Sleepers says.
My question is I'm not sure what you mean with Gabe Davis and Devonta Smith. Or do you not have them starting? Because if that's the thing, then I just start Devonta Smith and just don't worry about it. And then you don't have to worry about whether Saquon's limited and all that stuff. If you are, I'll just go Devonta Smith here. But I'm not exactly sure what we're talking here. Mike Wilson. Oh, that was previous question too. Dak or Stafford? What did I say? I had these guys. They were pretty close. I think I had Stafford ahead. I'm going Stafford here.
I'm going Stafford as well while you verify your rankings.
Matt Stafford 14. Dak Prescott 17.
That's right. Yeah.
It's all real close though. Will Cooper Kupp be on a snap count? I don't know, but he gets targeted on like 90% of his routes. So even if he's on a snap share or a snap count, I'm starting him again. Him and JT, I didn't.
It said not, according to Sleeper via RotoBaller, it says he's not expected to be on a snap count.
Yeah, he's a start. He's a start anyway. I mean, if his buddy Matt Stafford's out there and he goes out and runs 15 routes, I'll take 12 targets. Right?
He's going to get 15 targets.
Right? Joe Felon says non-PPR, 1 flex, Kirk, Addison, Dell, Moss, McLaughlin. 1 flex. I'm going Christian Kirk here.
I'm going Jordan Addison.
Unless if Javonte is out, it's McLaughlin easy here.
Yeah.
If Javonte is out. So I will preface it with that. But then what Christian Kirk's doing in that Jaguars offense is pretty good lately. We'll see with Zay Jones returning how that plays out. But would you play Jonathan Taylor, Gus Edwards, or Jaleel as flex? It's half PPR, and I have Josh Jacobs, James Cook as starters. I'm starting Jonathan Taylor.
I'm Taylor here.
Patrick says, thoughts on Colts defense as a play against Tennessee?
I like it.
Ryan Tannehill's always, it's always possible he throws 3-4 interceptions, right? So I think you can do that. Kyle says, who to start, silly goose? Which one was that? Are we starting some booty juice? My boy better still be here. We're Rob Kane. Let me know you're still in here because we're about to get to the booty juice players. I don't remember what question this was.
Talking about this one,
Ertz, Ferguson. Oh, it was the Ertz or Ferguson, and then he had Boyd or Michael Thomas. So we did get it. But I did have a question on it when that happened. So now I lost my spot. Who to start, silly goose? Ingram or Laporta? Hey, this is a good one. With Amon-Ra out, I'm going Laporta.
Laporta.
I mean, you don't have to yell at us, dude.
I backed up.
I'm sure people think that about me all the time. I get excited and I'm a loud talker anyway. So, okay, and agreed, my guys. I can't help with these.
Wilson
Anal zone is not it.
It's not.
That's the booty juice.
But
Rob
start
Kane,
anal zone and Wilson.
Thanks, gents. Goddard, thumbs up. Rico says, I traded away Nakua and Brian Robinson for JT.
Proud of you.
You just took a waiver wire wide receiver and a mid-tier running back and flipped them for JT. I like it. That doesn't mean, again, I don't think Puka's going to be bad, but just the efficiency and cutback, it's not going to be the same. Great trade. I like it.
Paul Kyron for JT.
Yeah.
Lamb, Olave, Watson, Dell, Wanderlei.
I like it.
Yeah, this is a solid team. Like, you're going to be contending. Pretty sure.
Alex Smith needs Dobbs, Goff, or Purdy.
Isn't he an NFL quarterback? Shouldn't he be answering this over us?
I know an Alex Smith personally too, and every time I ask when he's on the stream if it's the one that I know, he never answers and lets me know. But it's Purdy for me. It's tough. It's a tough matchup, but again, I believe in Kyle Shanahan. Purdy has not had worse than 14.7. Tomorrow could be that day, but it's still Goff without Amon-Ra, Dobbs. Who are we going to trust? I'm going with Purdy. But it is risky.
I really want to go Dobbs here.
I like Dobbs a lot this week. I've got him in some DFS lineups as well.
I'm going to go Dobbs here. With Goff having all of it. Yeah, again, this is that same range. Like Purdy, I know if I remember correctly, you've got 13. Dobbs, you've got 16. Like, they're interchangeable. Goff, yep. I don't remember where you moved Goff.
I had him at 10, but he would probably be probably in that 16 range, right? Yeah. With Dobbs.
I'm going Dobbs here. I like the matchup a little bit better. And I know you're not a matchup guy, but he's also been productive.
Yeah, outside of week 1, he's been really productive. He's been good. So I'm not going to argue against it.
He's got, since week 1, in weeks 2, 3, and 4, he's got at least 40 rushing yards too. So
yeah, there's a floor there. So I can get on board with Dobbs. That group's real close right there, all right in the middle. 12 to 18 or whatever. They're all real close. Should I drop Wan'Dale for Jameson? Yes. Or Rashee Rice. I'm probably going Jameson. I think that Mahomes is going to spread it around more. Jameson gives you some legit upside at wide receiver too, where Rashee Rice is probably going to have some pretty good weeks and then some bad weeks. It could be the same for both. But Jameson probably has the bigger opportunity because of the way that offense works. And if he takes Josh Reynolds, I mean, we've seen what Josh Reynolds has done so far this year. And if you think Jameson is more talented, there's going to be opportunity there for him. So I'll take the upside with Jameson, but they're both good options, and I'd rather have both of them than Wan'Dale.
Yeah. I'm going to go Rice here. I think Mahomes I agree with you that he'll spread it around, but I think he needs someone else to step up and be consistent in the wide receiver room next to Travis Kelce, and I think Rice right now is the best option for that.
Alex says we need to start 3 of these. We've got Kyren Williams, Kamara, Etienne, Swift, or Waddle. So I like all of them. They're all these guys are really close to me. I'm going to go with Swift, Etienne, I had Kyren ahead of Swift earlier, right? So I'm going to 3 running backs, Williams, Kamara, Etienne. And I'm going to just take those touches. I'm just going to take all the touches there. I will check my running backs again just to make sure I didn't misstate that. It's always a pain in the ass trying to balance this stuff. My mind changes all the time. I have flex.
I think in that same one, I think I took Swift over Kyren, right?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you changed your mind. I have Etienne at 7. I have Etienne at 7. I have Kamara at 6. Wait. Let me make sure I said this right. I have Etienne as my running back 5. No. Dang it. I keep looking at Etienne is my 7th overall. Kamara is my 19th overall. Kyren is my 20th overall. They're literally back to back. Swift is my 34th overall. So yes, those 3 running backs I said, Kyren, Kamara, and Etienne.
And I'm going to go Kamara, Swift, and Etienne.
And I have Waddle 25. So I would have Waddle. Swift would be my last one. Thoughts on Lions defense rest of season? I like them. They're going to generate some pass rush. That's what you want. Teams are going to have to throw on them because they're going to score. That is the recipe that I want. I want an offense that can score and pass rush because that means the other team's dropping back. That's how we get fantasy points with the defense. Anything to add there, Shane? Okay. Lethal Shooter says Pierce, Aaron Jones, or Mostert. Pierce, I have 38th overall. Aaron Jones, I have 26th overall. And Mostert, I can't type. Mostert, I have 33rd overall. So what did I have? So that would have put
I think
Jones.
Aaron Jones was first.
Jones would have been Jones is my, and that's who I initially thought. That's who I would go with.
That's where I'm going as well.
And that's lower for Jones because we still had questionable tag when I ranked these guys too. So Christian Watson or George Pickens. For me, this is Christian Watson.
Yeah.
London or Judy this week in PPR?
London.
I have London as my wide receiver 36, and I'm guessing Judy's going to be higher than that. Yeah. 35. So it's not a big difference. This is a good question, Lex. I have Judy one spot ahead of London, so I can't really argue either of them. They would be in the same tier. Can you rank them? Aaron Jones, Romeo Doubs, Dameon Pierce, Nico Collins, Ramondre Stevenson, and Mostert. So I know that it's going to be Jones as my top.
Ahead of Ramondre, even?
I have Ramondre at 44, so he's down a little bit with the way this offense is working because I have Pierce at 38, Romeo, he's at 75 overall. Nico is at 36, so I've got Nico ahead of Ramondre. So right now it goes Jones,
Nico.
Pierce, Nico, Ramondre.
I thought you had Nico at 36, Pierce at 38. Is that right?
I don't know. Dang it. 36 for Nico. Ramondre 44. Pierce. Wait, Nico is the one, right? Nico's 36.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, didn't I just say Dameon Pierce was 38? So Nico, then Pierce, yeah. But then Mostert's 30th. So Jones, Mostert, Nico, Pierce, Ramondre, Doubs would be my rankings. You got yours?
Jones. I think I'd go Jones, Nico. No. Jones, Mostert, Nico, Pierce, Ramondre, Doubs. I think that might have been the same. I don't know.
It was close, but you got any? No, I don't. My source said that they were going to try to give me information by about 11 a.m.
I looked this up when you were talking about the Lions defense question. He is eligible to come off IR after this week's game against the Rams, and he has been working out, so there's good chance he'll be activated soon.
I'll let you know what my source says next week. Sit one, Ramondre, JT, Hall, Christian Watson. I think Watson's going to be my sit here. I have him at 65th overall.
Really?
Overall, that's with running backs and
yeah.
And tight ends.
You just said Ramondre was 44th. I'm assuming Hall with his matchup is much higher. JT, we've talked about all night.
I mean, I have Hall at 13th overall. He's back, not, full go. He's easy.
Yeah, Hall's a smash.
Again, my rankings, I had Jonathan Taylor at 49, but that was before he was officially activated. We know that he's activated and everything now, so he would move up in my rankings. And then, Ramondre at...
I'd set Ramondre out of these four, actually.
Nah. Full PPR. The Joker wants to know which running back and which one flex Mostert, Achane, Ridley, Jacoby Myers. It's hard for me not to just go with this Dolphins backfield. But I'm going to go Achane and Ridley.
I'm going to go Achane and Ridley with the caveat that you pay attention to if Davante Adams is going to play. If you get that news in time, I would go Jacoby over Ridley.
I don't hate it. Breece Hall.
Yes, smash.
Smash Breece Hall. Put him in your lineups. He's a must start going forward. Chuff my donk. Hey, thanks for coming back again. Tough spot for me. Davante Adams is my guy, but questionable. Should I put in Jaleel, Cam Akers, Josh Reynolds, or hold out for my boy? That's tough. Because none of these guys are Davante Adams. I don't. So what time is the Raiders game? So
they're Monday night.
Oh, they're Monday night? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm personally going to lean that he plays. He was practicing.
The thing, again, I've been reading Sleeper as much as I can in between just to figure out answers for this, and it said that he was probably going to play. So I'm going to wait on Adams because that's a game changer.
And who do the Raiders play?
Packers.
So yeah, that's tough. Put him in your flex if you can get a guy off waivers. Who's behind Adams there? Adams and Myers. Is it still Renfro? If you can grab a Hunter Renfro or somebody like that off the waivers, or even a Packer receiver. That's
what I was thinking.
Flex. If he doesn't go, that's what I would do. I would look for somebody else in that game, even if they're not very good. I'd risk it, but I'm a gambler, baby. I will gamble it away.
I would look and see if you can get. I can't talk. Jaden Reed, off of waivers as a backup plan.
Yeah, Jaden Reed, Hunter Renfro, Luke Musgrave, all those guys are potentially on the waiver that you could use to fill in the flex spot. Just make sure that Adams is in your flex and not in a wide receiver spot if you're going to risk it. But I'm a risk taker. I want Adams in my lineup if possible. I'll take one of those other guys if not. Traded away Ford and Mike Evans to receive Pittman and Richardson. Now Pittman wide receiver 4 because Burrow at QBW. Wait.
I'm confused.
I mean, I think the trade's okay. Now Pittman wide receiver 4.
Jerome Ford and Mike Evans for Pittman and Anthony Richardson. I think that's a smash trade. But I'm not understanding the Pittman wide receiver 4 because Burrow at QB.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. Emil, thoughts on Amon-Ra injury? Think it's sports hernia and will be out for a while? I don't know. I wish I had answers for that one. But I'm going to have to wait for the professionals to let me know on that one. I just don't have a good answer for you, Emil. I apologize. If you had to keep one DST rest of season, Detroit or Philly? Oh, man, I would have to dig into the schedule.
Detroit.
I'm probably going to.
It's Detroit for me. Good Morning Football talked about Philadelphia and whether they were like real or should be worried about the wins that they're having this year. And they were like, if you look at the Eagles' back end schedule, it is tough. So give me Detroit here.
The problem is it doesn't matter to me. Detroit plays in a division that's going to run the ball a lot when it cools down. That typically leads to less turnovers. That's where you score fantasy points. Not that Philly lives in a warm spot, but they've got a Dallas offense, Washington offense. Giants don't have an offense.
So they play both the
but
Giants.
They turn the ball over. Yeah, I'm keeping Philly. We're splitting hairs here, though.
Yeah. So in the fantasy playoffs, if you do it right for the Eagles, it's Seattle, New York, Arizona.
Ship it. You're not going to beat that with Detroit's schedule.
For Detroit, it's Denver, Minnesota, Dallas in championship week.
Yeah, give me. I mean, Dallas gives up the least fantasy points to defenses, right? Which is why San Francisco is even a question to start this week in some of these questions we've got. But I'll take Philly. Plus, Jalen Carter's just going to get better. Like their
Kobe
front,
Dean's not healthy, and they gave
their front is so good. Do I trade away CeeDee Lamb and James Conner for Stephon Diggs? I already have Swift, Cooks, and JT at running back. I mean, I think you need to. I don't think it's enough. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think Lamb and Diggs are that far apart. James Conner's a running back one for the rest of the season. I just don't think it's a big enough difference. I'd rather keep the running back depth here.
Same. Lamb and Diggs aren't far enough apart for me for that one.
Yeah, that's my thing. Cup over 58 receiving yards or under. I mean, if history's told us anything, over. Rob Kane, are you still here? Let me know. Christian Kirk or Buffalo or 2-2 versus Eagles?
Kirk
for me as well. Waddle over 61 receiving yards or under. That one's tough for me. What is?
Give me the over. He had 78 in week 1, 86 in week 2, 46 in week 3, but it was a tougher defense with Buffalo. They're playing the Giants. Give me the over.
I'm good with the over. Good with the over as well. I just had to look into some.
I mean, he's older than me, so yeah, I don't think so.
He's not older than you, you old ass. Get some road game there, bro. No, he's not worth picking up. I mean, it all depends on what you've got. He almost turned into a running back last week. That could have changed his whole career, right? Or this week, Thursday, when the Bears lost all 3 of their running backs in one game that were dressed. That's cool. When Kari Blossom game, who has 3 carries in his career, has to become your closeout running back. What a perfect disaster. When the game started getting closer, when Commanders were kind of making some moves, and I'm going, dude, we've literally lost 5 of our top 6 secondary players. We don't have any running backs. This is like the perfect recipe for 2 huge collapses in a row. Luckily they held on. They found out how to close it out and everything, but man, that was scary. Full PPR start 2 this week. ETN, Achane, Mostert, Hall, Gibbs, ETN, Hall, lock it up and score a bunch of fantasy points.
I'm going Hall and Achane.
It's cool to be wrong.
I'm riding the Achane hot streak.
No, he is hot. There's a lot of efficiency there that I can't see sustaining. You think Barkley and Adams play?
Yes.
I think they both do, but
I'm not a doctor.
And I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night either. Let me word this better. LOL. My B. I traded away Jerome Ford and Mike Evans to receive Pittman and Richardson. I'm fine with that trade. Yep. I got Richardson because Burrow's at QB, and now Pittman is my wide receiver 4 behind Diggs, Waddle, Nico. Pittman's actually your wide receiver 2 right now with Waddle 3 and Nico 4, but they're all good. You're in a good spot there. I think the deal's good for you. I think the protection against Burrow and that calf injury and whether that gets fixed or not this season is good protection. Plus, even when Burrow's healthy, Richardson might be more productive fantasy-wise. Not as good NFL-wise, but fantasy-wise, maybe more productive anyway. Freddie's. What did you say anything there?
No, I was trying
to close this out.
No. I was going back to look and see if there was a question in the original comment because I don't see a question here. But I love the trade and I agree, except I think Waddle is your wide receiver 2 still. But
If you can get all 4 of those guys in your lineup,
you're solid. Yeah.
Tua and Andrews for Connors and Amon-Ra. I have Lamar and can pick up Ertz. I have Diggs, Puka, Swift, Achane, and Nico. For me, I would take Connors and Amon-Ra here. I would.
Is this the guy earlier that had Lamar and Tua?
I don't know.
I'm going back to look. See if I can find him.
Hey, if you haven't liked the video, if you would before we close out, that'd be awesome. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but yeah, I'll take Connors and Amon-Ra here.
No, it wasn't the same guy.
So what are you doing here, Shane?
I'm going Tua and Andrews.
Really? You're not even gonna. I mean, for me, you're upgrading at 2 positions with Amon-Ra, right? You're getting your wide receiver 2. We don't know what Puka's going to do.
You're right.
And then Connors is going to be at least a flex option in this whole scenario.
You're right. Especially if it's 1 QB. You're right.
This is what I'm going to tell people next year. Just remember this for next year. Don't draft 2 quarterbacks of that caliber in your 1 QB redraft leagues. It's just going to be a headache for you because you're going to be trying to pick who do I start each week, and it's you don't need it. You can get some more value for where those guys get drafted. Traded Chase and Kyron for Tyreek. Did I overpay? Yeah, but you're gonna have to get Tyreek. Like you're not gonna get Tyreek for less, so I'm fine with it. If Burrow was healthy or that offense was actually doing well, then I would be on the keep Chase side and Kyron. But I don't hate this Tyreek, a monster. You're gonna have to overpay for him. You're not going to get him for an even up trade, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Hold on a second.
Tyler asked Waddle or Kyron, and I think I went Kyron here earlier, right? When we had this one. I have Waddle 25th overall. Yeah, I have Kyron 20th overall, 10 RB 10, and then I have Waddle 25th overall.
And I think I went Waddle earlier.
Yeah, so 1 for each there, Tyler. I'm on Kyron's side. He's on the Waddle side.
Tyreek's averaging 25 points per game right now. 21 points.
You didn't have to do the math. You could have just said Rick. What is he averaging? Just telling you. If you want the numbers, just say, "Hey, Rick." Difference between God and a doctor. God knows he ain't a doctor. Anthony Richardson is now my QB1 because of Burrow low production. Yes. I can't remember. I can't remember where I had them ranked preseason. I think I had Richardson at 7th, QB 7. Rushing is awesome. Offers trading Nakua for Michael Pittman. Good move. Full PPR.
I would do that.
I'll take Pittman.
Yeah, give me Pittman.
I'll take Pittman. And Jew says, thanks, fellas. No problemo. This is the last question we got on the board. So if you guys want any questions answered, you better get them asked right now. And Rob Kane, if you're out there, we can talk some booty juice at each position before we get out of here. So Madison or Tank Dell in full PPR?
Tank Dell.
Listen, last 2 weeks, I've put so much booty juice on Alexander Madison, and the guy gets so many touches that it works out and makes me look bad. I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball very much because I think the Chiefs are going to throw so much. So I'm going to go take Dell here as well. Hey, do we keep Mixon or do we move him? If so, who could I go for fairly? I think this is tough with all Bengals players right now. You know, we had the question above with Chase and Kyron for Cooper Kupp or Tyreek. Normally I would be like, no, just keep Chase, get close to Tyreek production, have the running back. It's just not where we're at right now with the Bengals offense. Now that could turn around. I prefer keeping Mixon because I don't think you're going to get near his value. I prefer keeping him and hoping that this turns around. This is a good matchup for Mixon this week too, so this could be a bounce back for him that could get you some more value next week. So that's what I prefer to do. Wait till after the next couple weeks before I do anything with Mixon because I think you're definitely not getting any value out of him for what you spent if you trade him now.
Yeah, I'm keeping him. If you want to move him, I'm keeping him for 2 weeks and then trying to move him after the Seattle game. Then you may have to wait until after they play the Niners and Bills. And he's got a nice matchup against Houston, but that's what I do.
I did get Matt did text me back. I was watching. Well, you should have said something then.
Yeah, Matt. Come on.
Matt. Lucius wants to know, have a flex spot in a 10-man league. Can use either Saquon or Ridley. London game for Ridley, so have to decide this evening. Who would you guys go? I would just go Ridley since we don't know with Saquon yet, and it's still a high ankle sprain, which is never good. So I would just go Ridley and play it safe here. I want it to be Saquon. I hope he gets back because I love watching Saquon.
I concur.
Marco from the future again says Carr, McCorkle, Wilson, or Jimmy G.
Which Wilson, Zach or Russ?
That is a big question because it's Russ. It's Jameson Williams. Is Wilson?
Yeah, Marco.
Tomorrow I have Burrow and Stroud. Who do I play in an 18 PPR? I'm going Stroud.
Yeah. I want to see it from Burrow before I'm comfortable when I've got a good option like Stroud.
Marco says that is Zach Wilson. So I'm going to go with Carr.
I am too.
But I'm hoping, listen, Zach Wilson was my number 2 in that class, number 3 in that class. I hope he figured it out. I hope we were watching him and Justin Fields figure it out at the same time. And we get some good play out of that quarterback class because even with Trevor Lawrence, it has not been good for that class. That is all the questions. And Rob's not here, so we don't have to dig into the booty juice at each position. Maybe he'll be back in the morning. But I've got to be back in the morning. And then I've got to be live tomorrow night because, Shane, we're going live for the waivers tomorrow night. We're just going to go live. Okay. Because Mr. Brad's not even here. He told me the 9th, so I thought he was going to be here for tomorrow. So it's I guess 10, 12 hours of streaming every week is my new norm, which is, not the best thing for my life, but what are we going to do, right? It's football season. And, I don't have anything else to do anyway, so whatever. All right, so that's gonna be it, guys. We will be back. Hey, for you in here, should we start later since there's the London game, and go like 10 to 1 or 10:30 to 1 for tomorrow, and then get back to, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're not even gonna start till, we'll just do 11 to 1 tomorrow.
I think you got enough for the people with London questions tonight.
Yeah, and it was real slow during the game and then, died off anyway. So I'll just do 11 to 1 tomorrow. And then we'll get back to the 9 a.m. Next week when we're done with some London games.
When the Jags decide to come back to the States.
Did we do this one?
Yes. We both said Dell.
I was just making sure. All right. Everybody have a good night. If we don't see you in the morning, good luck. tomorrow in all your matchups, and we hope you get those fantasy dubs.